And welcome back to my channel. And this little mini series is going to include the predominant characters in the film Star Wars Episode 7 The Force Awakens. We're going to be starting with Rey simply just because she is the new female heroine, which of course everybody and their mama is going to flock to the theaters to see. She is the new female of Star Wars, and so I'm super excited for this new generation of, you know, people that are going to get to enjoy Star Wars. They're going to have their own Princess Leia in a sense. Rey is a scavenger. For those of you who have not seen the film, I'm not giving anything away. That information's already in the trailer. So what's really cool about Rey is that she's got her own iconic sort of look, not really look, but it's a look, and it's always centered around hair. That's definitely something that they took from the past and they've moved into the present. So Rey basically has her own hairstyle, which is the triple bun, which I think I saw quite a lot of in old 90s TV shows. So I've kind of designed a more of a beauty version or variation of a bun hairdo. This is a half up mini bun that is very messy and very curly and just very beauty. But I have also slicked the hair completely back away from the face without taming it or spraying any of the little wispies, so it does look a little messed up like a scavenger. I don't think most women want to wear perfect low triple buns, so I just made sure to make mine fairly low at this point of the head. I know it's more in style to wear it on top, but Rey's are low, so I dropped it. Of course, if you feel like you want to give a nod to Rey, but being more in style, I guess you could always drop it at the top of your head and wear the rest of your hair down. So I've definitely given that nod. Now, of course, Rey is a scavenger. She's very gaunt. She just kind of eats what she needs. She scavenges for her food. I watched a little bit of behind the scenes footage that the actress, I believe Daisy, had to put into the character. She basically did almost no training. The only actual training she did was physical training to get into the appearance of Rey, which is a very, very tiny, gaunt scavenger. So I've very heavily contoured the face. There's a lot of that going on. Rey is also one of the characters that gets probably the most direct sunlight because she is outside. In the film, you'll notice she wears a bit of a tank, and then she has sort of a long glove or wrap that comes up around her shoulders. So I've kind of given a nod to that with this bare shoulder top. There are holes in the top. So that's my kind of little nod to Rey. I just had a little bit of fun with it. Daisy, the actress, is absolutely gorgeous and has a very full brow. I've definitely filled these in fuller than I normally would. I've also heavily bronzed the face and worn a shade of foundation that is darker than I really should be wearing because of the sun exposure she will get in the film, and if she were a real person, she'd probably be a lot more tan. So with that said, I've selected very neutral tones, very tan tones, very bronzy tones, almost to give like a summer bronzy goddess, because this is going to be the new goddess, the new heroine of Star Wars. With all that said and done, the actual character Rey would probably never ever wear this, not even to the Copacabana. But when all is said and done, this is a beauty inspired look, so you can take it for what it is or not. If you don't like the fact that I'm doing a mini-series inspired by Star Wars, take it for what it is. You could retitle this video and call it whatever you want, but I do think it's a very pretty look. And it's fun to get inspiration from an odd source. And that's actually where I very much started my channel, was taking inspiration from odd sources. And I enjoy doing so. Why not? I used to take inspiration from like a Chips Ahoy box when I was designing clothes. So it's kind of important to think about how art evolves. Inspiration can come from any source, anywhere, anytime, any place. And enjoy. Take care. Bye. So to get started on the look, I'm taking this Anastasia Beverly Hills Pro Base number 1, and we're just going to kind of zero out the eyebrows. I don't have a lot of hairs. The brows are currently quite overplucked, so I just want to make sure that they lay down flat before I throw in my pencil, which is from Milani, and it is a taupe pencil. This works just as good on everything. Right now I'm kind of trying to save the money I have until my bills are paid off, and that is to purchase just what I need, and that is non-extravagant cosmetics, such as things that run out fast, like brow pencils. And this, I'm actually in love with this. I like this pencil a lot. Now I'm going to be taking a little bit of eye cream. This one happens to be from Murad. It is the anti-aging eye cream. It's the renewing eye cream, and works really well. I'm also going to take a little bit of toner and rose hip seed oil moisturizer. My toner is Avalon Organic COQ10 Plus toner. And I'm also going to throw on a little bit of sunscreen from Murad. This is the Invisblur Perfecting Shield Broad Spectrum SPF 30. And then we're going to throw on a little bit more of my Anastasia Beverly Hills Pro Base number 1 onto the eyelids. Concealer will also work. I'm going to be taking my furless brush and my Makeup Geek shadow in Vanilla Bean and throwing that under the arch of the brow bone. If you're somebody who has excessively oily eyelids, I highly, highly recommend taking the Vanilla Bean or the base color all over the lid before putting on any shades. Next up, I'm going to be taking a little bit of my favorite transition color, Frappe. Highly, highly, highly recommend this brown color. It is a warm, neutral brown color. Works well anywhere from fair to medium skin tones. And if you're dark, this will work well as a brow highlight. And I'm just going to blend that from the outer corner, which is the darkest portion of the look, to the inner corner using windshield wiper movement. I'm then going to be taking a little bit of creme brulee as the color I'm using to blend out the transition color, and a little bit of glamorous just in the center of the lid. So we have a halo eye look going, or as they used to call it, the sandwich smoky eye, but halo sounds a little bit more flirty, fun, sexy, and ethereal than sandwich eye. I'm going to be taking a little bit of Cocoa Bear using that same brush. I like to take as few brushes as possible, not just because it cuts back on the time it takes to wash them, but because it makes the whole look really soft, well blended. Everything goes together cohesively in a single look, especially when you're using analogous colors. And this is definitely an analogous neutral smoky eye. Analogous means like colors. I'm then going to be taking one of my favorite deep dark chocolate browns. This one happens to be a matte brown. Also highly recommend this particular brown as well, and it is Mocha, also from Makeup Geek, and we're going with affordability here. All these shadows that I'm taking are still available. I will list the site and all the colors in the bottom bar. I'm then going to be taking Shimma Shimma. This to me is the iconic Makeup Geek color. This one could have literally been called simply Marlena if it weren't for her usual catchphrase, Shimma Shimma. This color obviously had to be named that. So I'm going to be taking a little bit of my Prestige liquid eyeliner in black, and we're going to be lining the top eyelid using very, very fine strokes. And this is a nice liquid liner with an almost felt tip-like pen, so it allows me to do that. Taking my Lit Cosmetics base. This was actually designed for neon glitter so that they pop and stand out and look radioactive. But this eye pencil or base is such a nice, soft, creamy white that I actually prefer to use it on the waterline and actually really use it. I'm going to be taking a little bit of my Too Faced Born This Way medium to full coverage foundation in vanilla, and I only have a little bit of this left, and since Ray is a scavenger, I feel the best way to use a foundation that's slightly too dark for me would be on somebody or a character who gets a lot of sun exposure, would have darker skin than me, obviously. Unless they're a sunscreen addict, but I digress. I'm going to be taking the Makeup Geek eyeshadow in Cosmo. We're going to be adding a little bit of a rose gold hue. You could take Glamorous if it means that you're just now investing in your makeup and help save a little bit of money on your cosmetic buy. I'm going to be taking Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and I don't know, this is one of my favorite mascaras. I don't hate the name. It's not exactly appropriate, but the mascara is awesome. I'm going to be taking the Dollar General lashes. These are the Broadway lashes in Nuance, and they give a nice nuance while looking very full and sexy. And I think they're called Nuance because of the graduated form. And I'm just going to reline my brows a little bit so they look very clean and very full. And then I'm going to be taking my Lit Cosmetics pencil again and just blending that out under the arch of the brow bone. Now I'm going to be taking some of my Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit, and we're just going to set the eyes. This works extremely well for anybody who has a little bit of minor discoloration underneath the eyes. And I like to mix vanilla and banana together because I'm not so pink where I feel vanilla isn't the perfect shade, but I'm not so yellow either where banana is a perfect shade. So I like to mix the two. And I'm going to be taking Fawn for my contour shade. I love Fawn because it's not too taupey, and it certainly has no orange in it. It's very perfect, very cool toned. You could take an eyeshadow if something doesn't work well for you. I'm going to be taking the Too Faced Sweethearts blush in Candy Glow, and this is a perfect kind of a cotton candy pink baked blush. It's not too shimmery, not too glittery, not too mineral-y, and it just works. It gives a slight hue to the cheek, a slight flush, a slight glow. And if you're somebody who suffers from oily skin, you could choose a mattifying primer to make this work. I'm going to be taking one of my darker shades now from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Palette. I'm going to bronze with it, and that is Havana. And take whatever works for you or blend a couple colors. Whatever kind of helps you work the palette out or work it down or get the right color. I'm going to be taking the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in the shade Diffused Light. And this is a very yellow-based diffused color. And in the right light, it's very ethereal, so I wouldn't use this as a setting powder. For lips, I'm taking my Prestige Lip Liner, and I can't quite think of the name. It'll be listed in the bottom bar. And for lips, I'm taking my Metallic Peony from Too Faced, from the Melted Liquid Lipstick range. And yeah, so that's it for today's look. I sincerely hope you enjoyed, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next installment of this mini-series. Bye for now.